So we're standing in front of Slemko house, which was built in 1912 and is depicted to the period of 1919.
It's a log structure. About one quarter of this wall and the two end walls are new material, and everything except two walls on the north side is new material. It was sort of built into a hill originally, and so most of the north wall was totally rotted out. Basically, the clay walls look like this. This is a mixture of sand, clay, and straw, and that's the basic ingredients of the clay in this building, other than the top coat, which is a slurry of sand and clay without the straw. And so lime sometimes was added to the clay. Gives it a little more resistance to penetration from water. Of course, lime is limestone, heated until it becomes a putty. Once you use cook the lime, as we talked about earlier, for whitewash, then the lime absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and slowly turns back into stone. On this site there is evidence of pig hair, horse hair being added as a binder to help hold all the straw together. We had a couple of catastrophic failures in the first few big rainstorms. Of course, the clay by itself, is protected by the roof overhang, but driving rain, it all turns back into liquid clay and it ends up down there on the ground. The Prispa, that should be like a curb at the bottom of this building, would regularly do this, which would be vanish, just melt back into the earth. We would get a shell of clay on the curb at the bottom of the building, and so what we finally thought was it was rising dampness coming up from the ground that was destroying the clay from the underside. And so around this building there is a trench with gravel in it, so the water will not accumulate underneath, and it leads off to a dry well. So it works in some areas and doesn't work. It's an ongoing maintenance issue here, as opposed to the Grekel house where we saw everything looked so in great shape. The reality is this is probably more realistic to see things in the state of decay. If and when you have the time, you do the maintenance. Two of the sons of the original pioneers were still alive, and so one of the sons came here with his children and his grandchildren. John, one of the sons of the original pioneers, we were here chatting one day, and we approached this building, and John says to me, I was born right there. So his mom didn't make it. His mom did not make it back to the house. It was all very, important to him. Of course, John's gone now, but it really meant a lot to me that he would share that information with me, and it was impressive that he would approach the house, and those kinds of feelings and emotions came up, and he burst into tears actually when he walked in the house and saw the end product. The other peach that we saw at the other site at Grekel House, the dome-shaped peach, is in there. So again, built over a framework filled with rocks and clay. And in addition to that, it was built up square in the back. That was a sleeping platform for the oldest and the youngest. Got to sleep on that nice warm surface. This is a smoking chamber just outside the door. Mm-hmm. This smoking chamber leads to a chimney which goes to the next room. the smoke just drifts into the loft, the attic space, and out the gable boards. And this is almost 5 tons of clay in this oven. A small space for, I believe, 2 parents and could be as many as 7 kids living in here. I remember at the very beginning I said, you know, they were peasant people, but very inventive and used the materials that they had on hand. So today it's nice and warm and it's very cool in this house.
It's refreshing.
It's very nice. Same as in the winter, once you heat up that mass, it wouldn't be that hard to keep it warm.
Especially with these, we've got these long, skinny, probably poplars, I'm guessing, saplings. And they would have laid these down, and then above it would be another thick layer of clay and straw and chaff sort of thing.
Straw first and then clay on top of that, so you could actually walk on these. These beams as well have the weir system, the steel plates embedded in them to make them stronger. And then notably there's a clay floor in this building. Yeah. And to make it more resilient and waterproof than a slurry of
Kimyak, they call it. You take relatively fresh cow patties and you mix it in with water and you make a slurry coat, and you actually hand polish that into the floor and sort of level it out, and it gives it a bit of a stickiness. They would do that every Sunday, I think. There's something like that.
Yeah, about once a week. Yeah.
It's tough to maintain. It's definitely gone. All it takes is one day of visitors and visitation that goes.